Hi everybody. So this is the first time that I have streamed. I'm hoping that it's working. So I'm just going to double check. I think it is working. So yes, this is the first time that I've streamed from Zoom straight into our main Facebook page. So hello. If you can hear me and if you can see me, that would be brilliant. If you let me know, that would be perfect. So this small video is about the idea of generalized anxiety. We've all heard the term, we all know the term, but this actual video is not about talking about the pathology of anxiety. You know, you've been around my videos long enough to know that I don't tend to make this an illness, or I don't tend to make this the idea of anxiety something that you have to live with. But what I do want to talk about is a conversation that I had during the week with a client who has anxiety. And the question that that client asked me was this: how come my anxiety stops me from doing some of the things that other people with anxiety get to do? So how come I have anxiety and I have shared that conversation with other people who have anxiety too, but yet I'm the one that's suffering the most? But yet I'm the one that can't go out, that I'm the one that can't do A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, whatever it is. And what I want to do is speak specifically about anxiety. Anxiety is, yes, I can talk to somebody about anxiety and talk about the symptoms of anxiety. Fast heart, sweaty hands, tight throat, difficulty swallowing, all of these symptoms. And what's important about these symptoms are you will see a commonality with another human being who has these symptoms. And so therefore, there's a commonality between you and loads of other people with anxiety. And we can share that understanding with each other. We can share that understanding by expressing the symptoms and expressing how difficult anxiety is and finding commonality in that. But what I want to tell you and what I want to show you today that is very, very, very different is that we all have similar anxiety, and I say similar anxiety symptoms. But the reason that we have anxiety is very, very, very different. So I'll give you an example. If I had anxiety about being good enough, although I hate the word good enough because I don't think it cuts the mustard, but if I had anxiety around people seeing me as good enough, feeling worthy enough, then that reason for that anxiety would stop me doing specific things where I feel that I might come up against that anxiety. So it may stop me moving ahead in my career. It may stop me, opening a new part of the business. It may stop me socializing. It may stop me going into shops. It may stop me during the holiday times, during Christmas. It may stop me, going out for dinner with people. It may stop me in lots of situations. If I have anxiety that's about the fear of humiliation, then that's not going to really stop any of those social situations unless I fear that I may be humiliated in it. So my mind, if I've got a fear of humiliation, is searching and seeking for ways in which that could possibly happen to me. Now, there are two very different reasons. They stop us doing two very different things, but they have very similar symptoms. And so what's really important is when you're talking to another human being who's got anxiety, the things that they will be able to do with how their anxiety operates will be different from yours, even though you have the same symptoms. And what you do not need to do is compare yourself or shame yourself or say, I'm weaker than her, I'm weaker than him because I can't do A, B, and C and she can. My anxiety must be worse. I must be, more difficult. It must be bigger. It must be greater. It must be worse. Because when you move into that space, you tend to get hopeless and despairing. and shaming of yourself. And that is not what we need when we're in these anxious places. We need compassion and understanding for ourselves and a wee bit of grace. So understanding that another human being, yes, can have anxiety. And you can find commonality in the symptoms of anxiety. It is the reason that you have the anxiety, which is not generalized, which is actually incredibly specific, that you will have them issues or things that you will control your world and life around so that you don't feel those feelings, so that you don't come up against those problems. And they will be absolutely the opposite of another human being, even though you have commonality in the symptoms. So I hope this video explains that. I hope it stops you shaming yourself and wounding yourself and calling yourself all sorts of things, because I've heard it in clinical practice about how weak you are and how useless you are and how you can't do the things that everybody else can do, but they've got anxiety, but yours must be awful. It's specific. Anxiety is a specific problem with generalized symptoms. So the problem is specific to you and it has generalized symptoms only. So give yourself a bit of grace. Give yourself, a hug and let yourself know that if you get to the specificity of what it is for you, then you will not have to live with it. And be gentle on yourself, especially during this time. I hope that video helped. I hope it made sense. If you've ever experienced that or felt that, or because I think it's a general phenomenon among people who suffer from anxiety. Let me know in the comments below. I think when we let each other see each other and know that, yeah, I've experienced that and I have thought that and I've shamed myself and hurt myself for that, then the more it will take the stigma out of it. So hopefully that helped, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.